Buff Nation.
Let's go.
Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. It's DNVR Buffs Prime Time. What is up in the Toyota chats? What's up, man?
Not much. I'm stoked because I don't know if you guys noticed. Thankfully, no one said anything about it because I was self-conscious about it the whole time. On the first day of the Toyota Lounge, someone put a red truck on our set, and I was like, we can't have red trucks.
So now we have Broncos orange.
So now we got an orange truck. So shout out to the good folks at Toyota for understanding our dilemma.
Definitely. They know what we're about here.
Exactly.
We're presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. Another day up in Boulder. We'll hit on some recruiting news, some pro day news from other guys who participated 2 weeks ago. We'll get into Shelomi Sanders, of course.
Yep.
And then Dylan Edwards, high school head coach, what he had to say when I spoke to him. And then, of course, we start today with Xavier Weaver's pro day up in Boulder. Zay Day.
Everybody's celebrating.
It was Zay Day. He balled out today, man.
That's so sick.
Go ahead and roll the tape, Alyssa, if you have it. We got some clips here of Zay running routes, his 40, some jumps, just what he was doing today. He looked great, man. He looked fully healthy. He said he was feeling good. Basically, once he was cleared to get out of that sling, he was rocking and rolling, ready to go. Ran unofficial 4.4240, which is damn good.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped 37 inches in the vert, which would have been the highest of anyone at Colorado's Pro Day 2 weeks ago. I think he had over a 10-foot broad jump as well. He just looked good, man. It looked like Zay out there, running crisp routes. He was great hands. I think he only dropped one pass the entire day. Awesome performance for him. Awesome.
Love to hear it, man. Love to see it. And Zay, to me, I've said this a few times. I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but a few different times I have put my stamp of approval on a Colorado athlete as to, like, look, this is not my bias.
Mm-hmm.
This is me telling you that this guy is going to be a pro.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie was one. Again, people were saying, like, he was leaving too early, blah, blah. I'm like, someone's going to get this guy, and they're going to be really happy. But had a long NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Lindsay was the other.
You nailed that one.
That was undrafted, first undrafted running back ever to go back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons to start their career.
Yep.
And the other was Derrick White.
Mm.
And Derrick White, obviously, a key piece for the, I believe, NBA Finals favorite Boston Celtics. Now they're going to lose to the Nuggets, but
Definitely.
I'm putting my stamp on Zay. Someone is going to be very, very happy that they acquired Zay Weaver, whether that is with a draft pick or hopefully not, or with an undrafted free agent selection. This guy can play wide receiver at a really high level, and there's nothing about him, to me, that would say this guy is not a draftable player.
Absolutely not, especially after the numbers he put up today, especially that 40 number. Like, if you've seen, Steve Smith was probably the only guy, I think we talked about this yesterday, but really the only, like, media figure outside of us or, like, Colorado outlets to pump up Zay and his draft stock. He compared him to Robbie Anderson, who was a burner, is still a burner, and you put up a 4.42, man, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think the Steve Smith thing could help maybe more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Smith certainly never been accused of sugarcoating anything.
Yeah.
He keeps it real. And he gave Zay, like, the stamp of approval. Said he thinks he's faster than people think he is, which he obviously proved today.
Yep.
And, I don't think any team is basing their draft opinions off of what anyone says on a podcast, regardless of what podcast it is. But I do think that someone might have been woken up to the name Zay Weaver or decided, hey, maybe I should go check that tape out or check it out again after hearing what Steve Smith had to say. So this is good. We're really getting back to where we were during the season, which was like true Zay draft buzz. I think that this helped a lot. I think also getting this together, I can't 100% give the credit to Coach Prime. You can maybe correct me if I'm wrong if Zay said anything about it. But I think it's right out of the school of Coach Prime that Zay was able to get his own pro day today on a slow news day at a time where there's not a lot happening in the NFL, and probably turned some heads and got some people thinking and talking about Zay Weaver.
Yeah, we talked to Zay, and we'll get to that here in a second. I don't know who actually put this on, but, I mean, I was going to do the same. Shout out Coach Prime, and shout out just CU for putting this together for him, because I really think he made himself some money today, and if it was possible to bet on it, I'd bet he gets drafted now because of this.
I love that. I'll be so happy if he gets drafted.
I think he will.
I would be legitimately really, really happy if he got drafted by the Broncos.
It would be incredible if he got drafted by the Broncos.
We'll have to wait a year to have a quarterback probably.
Right.
But I would be really happy about that. So
the teams in attendance there were 11 of them. Eagles, Cardinals, Giants, Packers, Lions, Saints, Raiders, Browns, Chiefs, Jags, and Broncos, of course. Shedeur did not throw. He wasn't dressed. But Colorado School of Mines quarterback John Matocha came out and was spinning it.
2-time national runner-up.
I think he won it once in 22 and then ran up last year for like the D2 Heisman. Is that what you're talking about?
No. I meant champions.
Yes.
Championship game both of the last 2 years and lost.
Yep. But yeah, Matocha's like actually like a decent quarterback. He may not be an NFL quarterback, but he's got the stats to back it up. The Harlan Hill Award is what it's called. That's basically the D2 Heisman. He was a finalist this last year. And, won it in 2022.
Impressive.
He did a solid job, man, and kind of came in on short notice, too. I guess someone, as they put it, flaked on him last night. And thankfully, Matocha was able to come down to Boulder and just throw the pigskin around.
I don't think it's about my mic closeness. Maybe I need to be turned up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, sorry. I was
going to say, Mike's is about as close as it can get. Great for him, man. I love that he must have got a call late last night or early this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, can you come throw?
Yeah.
And, he really put the anytime, anywhere, any place thing to the test. But if you're Matocha, it's like there's NFL teams here.
Of course.
Going to watch you play, and I get to go show them what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I'm happy for him that he got that opportunity.
So here's what Zay had to say. It was pretty quick after the pro day. I asked him how it was. He said, I was a little winded because of altitude, but it was definitely good. Recovery is going well. The shoulder surgery and everything went faster than expected, faster than his doctors expected. He said basically when he was out of the sling, he was ready to go.
How about a wide receiver dealing with a shoulder injury all year?
That's dog type of traits right there.
That could not be fun.
No. And he was making catches like over his head and stuff throughout the season.
Like I lifted tries yesterday, and like I don't know if I would have been able to catch anything over my head. That's just soreness.
Well, thankfully you don't have a pro day coming up.
No pro day for me.
He was asked about his time at the Combine. He said he hung out with Xavier Weaver out of Texas. He hung out with a lot of the Texas guys, a few Washington guys. He said he was super excited about his 4.42. Still unofficial. I've heard maybe it's 4.47 officially with, I don't know how they do it.
There's no official. I don't think there's any official.
There's no laser times.
Yeah.
Out
so
there.
it's all gonna be what each person timed on their watch.
Right. What else do we got? So on quarterback John Matocha coming in to throw, he said, shout out to that boy, man. Last night they told me last minute about 9:30 at night that the other quarterback we had flaked on me. So my agents and people were scrambling, and we tried to find someone else who could make it. They called him at 10:30. He answered the phone, was able to get up here, so big shout out to him.
That's clutch, man.
Yeah.
I wonder who the other quarterback was.
I don't know. He was asked about what Steve Smith said about him. He said that's a blessing from him. Shout out to him. I feel like he definitely put a lot more eyes on me. Coach Prime did as well. when he compared me to Robbie Anderson. A lot of people from old school said, I'm built like and play like that. So when I heard that, it made me laugh a little bit. Next month for him, just preparation for the draft, couple visits, couple workouts. He said some teams who have shown some interest in him include the Chiefs, Raiders, Jets, and Eagles.
Love it.
That's about it.
Congrats to Zay, man. Great job by CU to get this together for him. Coach Prime, the whole team up there. Getting 11 NFL teams to come watch one guy work out is pretty cool. And it just shows the power of this program and the brand of Coach Prime and beyond. And someone said it earlier in the comments, but it's like getting him drafted would be great for recruiting, especially with transfers, right?
Yeah.
A guy playing at a lower level D1 school puts his trust in Coach Prime and Shedeur and gets drafted is a great story. And I truly see no reason why he shouldn't get drafted.
I'd be surprised if he isn't at this point.
Great hands, crisp route running, speed, jumping ability, high pointing the ball, spectacular catchability.
Crisp routes today too, man.
Yeah, someone should draft him. And again, I'm confident they'll be happy they did.
His teammates were out in force too. Shedeur was there, Travis was there, Jimmy was there, Shane Cokes, Arden Walker, LeJontay was even watching. Omari Miller was out there. Everyone, all the coaches were out there. Corey was out there. Box was out there, of course. Coach Prime came out. He was watching. Saw Coach Livingston again. Coach Mo, all the strength staff were there too. Bucky was there. You're probably going to see that on Well Off later today. Yeah, it was great, man. Zay is so loved by this program and by these people. He's got a lot of fans rooting for him.
Yeah. I mean, super, super good dude. All the interactions we had with him. A guy who, like, always has a smile on his face. Just brings good energy, good vibes to wherever he goes.
Maybe you'll see him on this show sometime soon, too. Shout out to our great new friends over at Toyota. When Zay gets drafted, he could pretty much just buy whatever Toyota he wanted. You can get a souped-up Supra.
Yep.
The most badass, adventurous RAV4 out there. It's going to be all available to him. You guys can get in on the action, too. Toyota offers 17 models of it with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They got hybrid vehicles. They got sports performance vehicles, SUVs, all that good stuff. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe is in Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder. Groove Toyota in Littleton. Mountain States Toyota in Denver. Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora. Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official, is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
I have to say, since we announced the Toyota partnership, like everyone I know that owns a Toyota has been reaching out to me, and like, no one has a single bad thing to say about their Toyota. Everyone's like, oh, I've been driving mine for 20 years, or I just got the new 4Runner and the thing drives like a dream, like all ends of the spectrum. We even got a comment on the show yesterday, someone from Africa. That was like, oh, Toyota's the go-to car out here in Africa. So really cool to hear everyone's stories about their Toyotas. And I told you guys, I absolutely love mine. I'll never go to another car brand, I don't think. But also a shout out to True Fan Travel. Be on the lookout for DNVR Buffs road trips brought to you by True Fan Travel. Signups for away games are coming soon.
Yeah.
We've talked about this with you guys. We are planning on being at every road game this year, and we want to see you guys there. We're also working to set up a whole thing for the Nebraska game. I know a lot of people have reached out about that. We're working on it. I wish I could get our events team to only focus on Buffs travel, but they've got a lot of things going on. Golf tournaments in 4 different cities and takeovers and baseball season and all that stuff. So it's coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be doing a whole trip for Nebraska, but shout out to True Fan Travel and keep an eye out for the signups for road trips coming soon.
Yeah, man. TCU was legendary partly because of the experience we had with the fans and everyone who came out and traveled with us from Colorado to Fort Worth. So I'm excited. We're going to have some fun.
Yes. So someone said RK loves Toyotas and Red Wings. Don't like the Red Wings.
Yeah.
Or anything red.
Red Wings boots, though? Is that what he's talking about?
Oh, these are Nikes.
There you go.
I don't own any Red Wing boots. I've heard they're dope, though.
Yeah. Real workman's boots, apparently. All right. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. I published last night this article. I talked to Dylan Edwards high school head coach Brandon Clark. He's been at Derby High School for like 20 years. There was an article that came out like 2 years ago where he said he's going to retire at Derby, basically. He's seen a lot of players come through Derby High School.
Yeah.
And how he spoke about Dylan, I don't know how he's not his favorite player ever.
Really?
Yeah. I asked him when he first met Dylan Edwards. Said he was probably in the first grade. He's been able to watch him develop from then all the way through his senior in high school. He's always an extreme athlete on the field since he was super young. He bought into the weight room at a young age. So what you saw on game days, what you see on the field at practice all week long. Put in the work, man, and it's pretty obvious so far. I asked him how long did it take for Dylan to make an impact at the varsity level. He said, we had a really good running back his freshman year. He'd been in our system before, so he knew the plays and all that stuff. And he handled the jump to varsity really well. By mid-season of his freshman year, he was getting playing time, and it wasn't mop-up duty. They never really played any freshmen at running back at varsity before, but Dylan was getting some meaningful carries and getting in the game. He said by the time he was a sophomore, it was like coaching a senior. He knew all the plays. He just had the entire mental makeup to be a professional football player. He's a perfectionist at everything he does. I love this because I asked him about, Dylan burst onto the scene, right? Mm-hmm. But they really struggled to get him going. And so I was like, what are some of the things you guys did that, because his high school stats are outrageous. I don't know if you guys remember when we were talking about this a year ago, but my gosh, go take a look. They're crazy. So Coach Clark said he was our best playmaker from his sophomore year on. There'd be times he only touched the ball 8 to 10 times, but he'd score 4 out of the 8 times, and we'd have a running clock by halftime, so he wouldn't even play in the second half.
My God.
Yeah. He said about a third of the time we wouldn't be playing the second half, or he wouldn't be playing the second half just because we were up on the other team so much and he'd scored so many touchdowns. He called him their best receiver also.
Wow.
He said he was just a natural at it, and 7-on-7 he really shined. He loved watching that week 1 performance against TCU. He said, we've heard it before about guys like Travis and stuff, but same with Dylan. And I think Coach Prime said it too before TCU game. It wasn't a matter of if, but when.
Yep.
And that's what happened. Here we go. I asked him, what's your reaction to people who criticize Dylan's 3-down ability or durability because of his size? He said people that have that criticism because of his size need to know there's not a bigger alpha male at the running back position that I've ever seen. He's not backing down to anyone. He's durable and never got hurt. A lot of his runs for us were straight through the middle in zone, counter, and stuff like that. I really don't know where that comes from. People thought, he's just a speed guy, but I guarantee he's one of the strongest guys in that weight room. He's durable. He's tough. He won't back down to anybody. He's an alpha dog, and he's going to prove to everybody that he's an every down back.
I love that. And I do want to mention, I understand why people were frustrated last year when Dylan was essentially running into the backs of offensive linemen when they were trying to get him in the middle. But I truly don't believe that means Dylan can't run between the tackles. And I think it's been proven several times at the college level that small running backs can go between the tackles.
Yep.
And sometimes even at the pros. It's obviously a little tougher for them. But, let's just look at Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
This is not a guy who is getting specialized carries. This is a guy who got 235 rushing attempts as a sophomore for 1,404 yards, and then 293 rushing attempts as a junior for 1,558 yards, 18 touchdowns as a sophomore, insane, 9 touchdowns as a junior, and then he went to the league. But it's proof there that small running backs can succeed in all areas of the field at the college level. It's obviously gets tougher as you go to the pros, but it's still been proven there, not quite as much. My point being, I think that the offensive line was more of the problem than Dylan running between the tackles.
100%.
And a lot of times you get those little guys through the hole, and then it's off to the races because you got flat-footed people and, trying to see which way he's going to break, and all of a sudden he breaks to the outside and no one can catch him. So, yes, I would love to see the Buffs use Dylan more in the specialized areas. I would love to see them using him more on screens than they did. I'd love to see them using him more on wheels than they did. But I don't want to put Dylan in a box and say he's only a scat back, because I really do believe he has the ability to be an every down back.
Look at Devon Achane. Entered the league last year as a 5'9", 188-pound running back. Played in the SEC, was first team All-SEC in 2022. Ran for over 1,000 yards in 2022 for the Aggies. 8 touchdowns. Only had 36 receptions. That's not a scat back. He had 196 touches on the ground.
Yeah. Also, it would be one thing if you could point to evidence that any type of running back was having success running between the tackles for Colorado last year.
Exactly, man. The entire running game was literally Shedeur scrambling. That was our running game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. We talked a lot about this offensive line, but it's impossible to run when you have one of the worst offensive lines in the country. I mean, they averaged like 2 yards per carry last year.
Yep. And Dylan got bigger, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Some say faster.
Yep.
Which is almost hard to fathom, but we talked about it when he joined the track team. I'm like, track coach's job is one thing, make you faster.
And that just shows, what Coach Clark said about Dylan's work ethic. Like, not only did he attack the gym this offseason, he's running with the track team. Like, he's not satisfied with where he was last year, and he did burst onto the scene and have a great game against TCU, but we all wanted more. I think Dylan wanted more, and he knows that he had to put in the work, and that's what he did, man. And I'm really, really excited to see what he does this season, because he's going to be an absolute weapon for the Buffs with better blocking too. I wouldn't be surprised if, we saw it a lot in the passing game and a lot on the perimeter, but one run up the middle where he just has a missed tackle and he uses that speed, man, it's over.
Yeah, and someone in the comments said Deuce Vaughn is way bigger in size than Dylan. The opposite is true. Deuce Vaughn's 5'6", 172. Dylan's listed at 5'9", 170.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty much the same in weight, and Dylan's a few inches taller. And he's probably more than 170 now, the way that he's gained weight. So I just think Deuce Vaughn looks bigger because he runs big.
Definitely. But it's going to be a big year for Dylan. Super stoked. Can't wait. Check out the entire article, though, on thednvr.com. These have been fun, man. I really enjoy talking to these coaches and learning more about these guys like this. Omari Miller up next.
Yes. Also, just to answer Debbie's question quickly, the Miller light sign, the Miller Coors, all part of one big family.
Yep.
So that's it's okay for that sign to be there.
Yeah, Coors is massive, if you didn't know.
Yes.
Like, they have tons of beers.
Exactly.
Shout out to Coors.
Big shout out to Coors.
Beer that's made to chill. Come down to the DNVR bar, hang out with us. It's on tap. It's in the Silver Bullets. Or come to the tailgates this year or the spring game. I'm sure we'll have plenty of Coors products for you guys to drink to your heart's content. Coors is the GOAT, though. When it's time to chill, it's the beer I reach for. When you want to hit reset, grab the beer that's made to chill. You can get it delivered straight to your door with Instacart. Go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Speaking of Coors, we'll be at Coors Field on Friday.
Oh, man. Perfect day on the schedule. We'll be hanging out at Ice House before we go to Coors Field. So one of the rare times in the year that we'll do an event outside of the DNVR bar, but we're not delusional about what opening day is all about. Opening day is about being in Lodo.
Yep.
So we'll be down there at Ice House. Come hang out with us before the game, have a drink, have a course, and then head to Coors where we'll be having more course.
Hell yeah. Circle K.
Shout out Circle K. Get a free any size Polar Pop from Colorado Circle K's by texting DNVR to 31310. That's DNVR to the number 31310. Message and data rates may apply. Periodic recurring messages per month. Terms and conditions can be viewed at CircleK.com. Sign up with the QR code on screen or visit www.CircleK.com/innercircle for more information. Become a member of Circle K's Inner Circle Rewards program. You can scan the QR code right there. But take advantage of a free any size Polar Pop, especially as the weather's warming up. Or, I mean, someone yesterday said they were in Arizona. It was 92. So it's time to go down and get a Polar Pop. And if you're in Colorado, you can get a free one by texting DNVR to 31310.
Seriously, though, sign up for that program. You get 25 cents off for your first 5 gas fill-ups. I forgot I did that. So I was driving one day and I need gas, stopped at a Circle K, boom, paid like $2.20 or something for gas. It was crazy.
That is amazing.
All right. A little bit of a news dump here we got to get through. We'll start with this. CU women's basketball. We've talked a lot about the basketball teams and how it's kind of going to be a new season, new era for these teams moving forward. And Shelomi Sanders will not be a part of it. She has entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, I'm sure people are going to freak out over this. Try to make a big deal out of it. I've already seen some of our local Denver media who loves to jump on these sort of things, jump on this.
Yeah.
Look, I've been very open and honest about this from the second Coach Prime got here. I don't have really any expectations for how long he's going to be here. I'm taking every day and just like waking up being like, damn, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime is the coach of the Buffs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would never sit here and say he's gonna be here for the next 5 years. Right. I guarantee it. And I also, at the same time, don't think that Bossy entering the transfer portal means that Coach Prime is leaving. She wasn't playing for CU, and she deserves to play ball. Like, she wants to play ball.
Do, yes.
Now, I obviously paid close attention to the Buffs basketball program this year, but I don't know exactly where she was standing, how she was doing on her path to playing time. I know she got in there and knocked down a 3 in one of the early season games, but sure, could you sit there and paint this picture of how this means Coach Prime is leaving and he gave Bossy the okay to transfer because he's not going to be here long anyway? Anyone can sit there and paint that picture. I think it's the most obvious answer is usually the right one. She wasn't playing. She wants to play. That's a lot of people enter the transfer portal for that very reason. And I think the big thing here is to keep an eye on where she transfers. I wouldn't be surprised if she transfers somewhere in the state of Colorado.
I mean, I have no idea. I talked to Brian Howell about this. He covers the CU women's basketball team for Buff Zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, and he's like, yeah, it's all about playing time. Like, and who could blame her? She only played 12 minutes last year when you look at the game logs, man. She only played in 5 games. Like, college sports are the greatest. And she went on this run, the last 2 years at Colorado, right? She got to go to the tournament, do all these cool things, learn from Jalen, all these players who helped make CU women's basketball great the last 2 years. But you want to be on the court when it's all said and done.
I mean, I would. It's very different, but it reminds me of do you ever remember when you'd be going to hang out at a friend's house and you sleep over and the next morning they have basketball, so you go with them and you go watch them play basketball, and all you can think the whole time is man, I wish I could play basketball right now.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that's what it's like, for anyone that was in that position. And you're not of course she wants to be close to their dad. Of course, Coach Prime wants her to be there in Boulder. But at the same time, basketball is a passion. Who knows how long your basketball career is going to end.
Right.
Go play while you can.
Yes.
And like I said, we'll see where she ends up going. But Coach Prime absolutely loves having his family there.
Mm-hmm.
He also absolutely wants whatever is best for them, whatever is going to make them happy. And so my read on this is that's the reason, and it's easy to see why that would why that would be a factor in in why she's doing this.
Without a doubt. And, if anyone's going to look at this in the negative light, like Coach Prime's leaving, it's like, first off, he's not going to be here forever. One day he will leave.
Yep.
But second off, let's use our minds a bit here. It is April. She's going to enter the portal. She's probably going to commit to a team sometime in the next month and a half or so. By June, I'd say, and that's conservative, right? Do you know how ridiculous it would be for her to, one, transfer to a school that would end up firing a football coach that Coach Prime would then leave to? That would be that would match this. It means nothing in terms of Coach Prime's future.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are making this case are saying, well, Coach Prime is just telling her it's okay to leave because he won't be here long anyway. I guess my counter to that is, do you think he's going to leave before next season?
Right. Well, and Shedeur and Travis and Shiloh are leaving anyway, too.
Yeah. So I think that people are making a mountain out of a molehill. But at the same time, I have no idea how long Coach Prime is going to be here, and I won't act like I do.
Right.
I think that this specific scenario is not some sort of flag that's saying, oh, there he goes, he's out.
Exactly. So, yeah, we wish her the best. We'll see where she ends up. Other transfer news, Eddie Lampkin to Syracuse. You see that?
Yeah. Syracuse must not run that zone that they used to run anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing, because Eddie wouldn't be a great fit for that.
Right.
That was all about length and covering as much space on the court as you could with athleticism and all that. Eddie, great player, ultimate energy guy. I have a friend who reached out to me today asking, they're a Syracuse fan. They said, all right, what are we getting at Eddie? I said, elite energy guy, will push around smaller bigs and dominate them. Struggles a little bit with size, or I should say, I said struggles a little bit with length and a bit frustrating sometimes with his handles. But
yeah,
happy for Eddie and wishing him the best.
Frida Foreman's coming back.
Needed it.
I think that's about it for basketball. Spring game tickets are on sale.
Ooh, okay.
Head to the CU site now. Now. Go get them.
Yeah.
Because they are going to go out.
Yep.
I think so. I was in vacation last year when you guys did the show that the game was sold out. That was around this time last year, so it was maybe a week and a half, if that they were on sale before they sold out.
That's crazy.
Get to it. Some more pro news. Rodrick Ward invited to a local pro day with the Denver Broncos.
Love to see it.
Broncos have a need at safety, too.
Yep. I think it was our friend Matt H. who made a great point on Twitter today. He said, the Broncos benefit from the Buffs being better.
Yeah.
Because more players can come to their local pro day without having to use a top 30 visit.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, Greg Penner, open up the checkbook, donate to the 5430 Foundation.
Wow. Yes.
Great roundabout spin there.
Yes, I absolutely love it.
5430 Alliance, sorry.
Of course. Derrick McLendon has also been invited to the Broncos local pro day. He will also be attending the Falcons local pro day on April 12th. The Broncos pro day happens on April 6th. That is Saturday.
All right.
Some recruiting updates. 2025 four-star quarterback TJ Lateef is here. He is in Boulder. Another quarterback. I think this is the third or fourth one we're going to have this month.
All right.
2026 wide receiver Donovan Murph also announced that he will be visiting Colorado later this week also, from the 4th to the 8th. Adam Mustard Tiger 247 said he's going to be one of the better 2026 wide receiver prospects in the class. So the Buffs getting in early. I thought I had one more. That might be it.
All right.
Oh, Joe Hurlburt entered the portal also. CU men's basketball.
All right.
That's it.
Best of luck to him as well. The funniest, my lasting Joe Hurlburt memory will be that every time he came into the game, the announcer said he was a walk-on, which he absolutely was not a
He
walk-on.
was a 4-star. He was like a top 130 player, bro.
I was like, this man is being profiled.
Yes, he was. Some other visits that I have scheduled or written down, I guess. Zaire Addison should be here. Should have gotten here yesterday. 2025 3-star wide receiver Elisha Durham scheduled to show up on Saturday, and 2025 3-star quarterback Jaron.
Come on. Confidence.
Sagapalutale
Oh, there he is.
is supposed to be here on Saturday also.
Good job.
Nailed
it.
Thank you. That's it. Let's get to the Toyota chat here very soon. But first, final few shout-outs. Illegal Pete's, the absolute goats.
Is that dinner for me tonight?
I'm thinking about going right after this.
Sounds pretty good. Got a meeting right after this.
Steak queso. Oh, we do have a meeting after this. Steak queso burrito, though, probably one of the top 5 best food items of all time.
Hard to argue.
Get the potatoes, man. They're delicious. I've had the fish tacos before, too. Those slap. The taquitos.
Yep.
But Illegal Pizza's the goats. Shout out to them for hooking us up during the Bracket Insanity stuff. They're your go-to place for burritos, buddies, and beers. Love you, Illegal Pete's.
Also, shout out to Chinook Seedery. You guys know them as the people that sent us like 5,000 seeds.
Yeah.
As fans of the show who also wanted to show us what they were working on. And now they're official partner. We couldn't be happier to have them on board. Jake, the ultimate seed guy, has given them his stamp of approval. You want to give a shout out to any specific flavors?
Of course. The Hatch ones, the Parmesan pepper. I mean, honestly, all of them are great. I thought the cinnamon one was a little weird. Maybe not my taste, sweet sunflower seeds.
I liked the cinnamon one.
Well, and Brandon loved them too, I think.
Yep.
So some people they're just awesome. They're great.
Different seeds for different breeds. That's what they say.
Yes.
So they've got it all. Go over to ChinookSeedery.com. That's ChinoOK, like a warm wind. Seedery.com. That's literally what Chinook wind.
Does it really?
It's warm wind.
Oh.
Use code BUFFS
Yep.
for 20% off your order. Best seeds ever.
I saw Artemis ask in the chat if I was a Tigers fan. I guess kind of. I'm not a big baseball fan.
Detroit Tigers?
Mm-hmm.
Why did they ask that, and why is the answer yes?
I mean, I just was raised to root for Michigan sports.
Oh, it's the Michigan connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I worked at DNVR, I used to wear a Tigers hat all the time just because I like the logo.
Dude, the Detroit Tigers hat is an all-time great sports hat.
Should I break it out some more then?
You're welcome to wear that hat.
All right, great.
And you can just say the D stands for Denver.
All right. The
Or
OG.
DNVR.
What do we got?
So wait.
Huh.
Red Wings?
When I grew up, yes.
Damn.
But look, I was a victim of the hockey lockout, and so I really fell off. And I became a DNVR fan well after that, but that's why the Avs, I know it's kind of blasphemous to say this, I kind of switched sides, but
At least it happened after the rearranging of the conferences.
exactly, yes.
Where it's not, sadly, it's not a real rivalry. Why are all of my rivalries being ripped from me?
I don't know.
Sucks. Next thing we know, like the Raiders and Chiefs are going to leave the AFC West.
Yeah,
If they do it, though, they'll probably do it in a car going over 100 miles per hour.
Yes. But yeah, so that's I'll bring out the Detroit hat. I love that hat.
We'll
man.
allow the Tigers.
Let's go. What's up, Jays? It's been a minute. Do you think Shedeur and Travis could be put in CU Hall of Fame when they have another good year this year?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, Shedeur's going to have the 2 best quarterback seasons of all time under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
Travis is Travis. He's going to be in the Heisman conversation. So, yeah, I think the wall of fame that they have on the press box side, which obviously is going to be redone hopefully very soon, is for consensus All-Americans, I believe. It might be just All-Americans, but I think it's consensus All-Americans. So great chance that those guys end up there this year.
Can't wait, man. MLN says, don't they use catapults for metrics? Yeah, they do. They don't. They didn't have the guys.
Explain what that is first, because a lot of people are thinking that like catapults,
like a physical catapult.
Yeah.
So everyone's seen them. When you watch Well Off Reach the People, the pregame show, they're like the bra-looking things that the guys wear.
Yeah.
The black things, they say catapult on them. They're GPS trackers, though. They track their speed. That's how we get all those super dope speed numbers throughout the offseason from the strength and conditioning staff. But the guys at Pro Days did not wear the catapults. So
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Also, I don't know if a catapult can time a 40 as much as it could show you their speed.
Right.
Which then you could probably create an equation to figure out what the 40 speed was.
Let's just stick with the stopwatch,
But
bro.
I was told there'd be no math.
Stick with the stopwatch. Surfer Boys, Boy 3000 says, what was the reason why Shedeur did not throw to Zay? I don't know. I didn't talk to Shedeur today. But I'd imagine Shedeur's probably going to have plenty of people watching next year. So he'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
But Shedeur's like it's not in season, but he's like in practice right now. Like he probably threw a ton yesterday because they had practice. He's got to throw tomorrow because they had practice.
I was also thinking there might be something to like, I don't know, like if you're throwing in front of scouts as a high caliber NFL drafts prospect, like maybe you want to be doing it on your script,
right,
rather than the script that's potentially best for Zay. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. So I truly don't know the reason, but it's probably not as simple as just like, hey, can you throw for me? Yes or no?
Yeah. He was there though. I mean, Zay basically like ran up to Shedeur, and that's when he announced out to everyone he ran the 4.42. So,
yep. Shelly said, did he say bra? Maybe sports bra? I think those things are more like a vest. They definitely look like a sports bra.
Yeah.
But yes, sports bra rather than regular bra.
Yeah. I mean, that was the best way to describe it. That's what they look like.
Yeah, it's 100% what they look like.
Chris asked, do y'all think Shedeur will be the EA Sports college football cover athlete? He hasn't posted in the game cover yet. Yeah, someone else did recently, though. Jordan Seaton,
yeah.
Yep.
And again, I think a lot of those posts, especially from players like Shiloh and Jordan Seaton, are like a little extra kickback for a social media promotion of the game.
Yep.
So it's nice to see those guys getting that. I sure as hell hope Shedeur is the cover athlete, and that's why we haven't gotten it in the game post for him, because I will be heartbroken if he's not in the game.
Yeah, I really hope so. I know Kirk Herbstreit was on, I can't remember what show he was on, but he said June or July. Was it July?
I thought it was like July 22nd.
Okay. That's around when it used to launch, though.
Yeah.
It was end of July. So I guess expect it then. Haven't had any news on that for a while. But EA did say full reveal coming in May. So stay tuned.
Yep.
Very, very soon.
Good point from Louise, too. She said all the attention should be on Zay, not Shedeur.
Exactly. Great point.
Yeah, I mean, if Shedeur's throwing, those scouts' bosses are expecting them to come back with a full report on how Shedeur looked as well.
Right.
And, you know, it does take a little shine away from Zay.
Definitely, man. I mean, shout out to the other quarterback, Matocha, too. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He looked like he belonged, like throwing to Zay at least, you know, against air. Like,
good for him, man.
He didn't have Zay like going overextending, going all over the place, like looking like he was trying to make up for a quarterback. Like the ball was on target.
If you're a wide receiver at a pro day, are you telling the quarterback though, like, give me a couple behind me so I can flash the one hand catch?
Probably. Zay didn't do anything acrobatic or anything.
It's like back in the day, like Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan would be like, the best dunks come off of bad lobs.
Right.
You know, if the lob's too good, you just drop it in the basket. Like, I need something a little behind me so I can catch it behind my head and throw it down.
But yeah, we were right there. Coach Prime let us, he told us to scoot up again. So we were right on the sideline. And we put a lot of trust in Zay today because a few people would have gotten pelted with a football if Zay's hands weren't so sure.
Damn. When I was in elementary school, there was a new kid in town, and some people like purposely threw a football at him, like just like that. Like they're like, "All right, you like act like you're gonna catch it, but just let it go through your hands." It was really mean.
That is really mean, man. Artemis asked, why are the guys off on Friday this week? We're actually doing no shows on Friday for the company. I think the Avs have a game, so they do game stuff.
Yep. It's official Denver holiday, opening day. I was surprised when I heard that we were getting it off.
Shout out Alyssa for
but we were talking upstairs. If you got the average blood alcohol content of Denver on any day, I'm pretty sure opening day would be number one highest.
Parade day was probably pretty high too, though.
Yeah, but that's not a recurring. Well,
it's about to be.
Last 2 years, it's been a recurring day. That's also a very, very high.
Big 21, is the new Jumbotron done yet? No.
Also, it's not just for, like, we're doing a company event that will be away from the studio, so that's another reason.
Yes, exactly. No, it is not done yet. But again, shout out to my guy, Jimmy Searfrost. He works with Adam at 247. He's a student at CU. I think he's just about to graduate, actually. But he's been posting updates on his Twitter page. They've got the 4 support beams up. Did you see these?
Yes.
Really, they just gotta line up, mount the screen, and good to go. It's not going to be done by the spring game, though. Don't expect to see it.
I love Jimmy dropping the updates. Reminds me of a young RK when they were building the practice facility. Yeah. Every time I would walk by, I'd snap a pic and tweet it. It's like, you're there and people are interested. Give them what they want.
Of course.
Love it.
Bird B, who will end up being the best player to be a Buff, Shedeur or Travis? Oh, man.
Don't make us choose our favorite child.
Yeah. I don't want to choose.
I don't either. Both
are going to be legendary figures for this program and are going to be shining lights of CU greatness for a long time.
Speaking of shining lights for CU greatness, congratulations to Chauncey Billups.
Of course,
officially elected into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame today. Very deserving, Mr. Big Shot, smooth, whatever you call him. One of my favorite players ever to watch. When he came to the Nuggets in 2009, in the Chauncey Billups for Allen Iverson trade, it was just unbelievable. The way that he led that team, the transition threes, that was honestly one of my favorite years ever of watching basketball, and he was a good Nugget during that time, and obviously a great Buff in his days there as well.
I grew up watching that guy win titles with the Pistons, man.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
We'd go to Grandma and Grandpa's house. We'd watch
Finals MVP.
Yeah, we'd watch all the Pistons playoff games back then, and those teams were sick, and he was a big reason why.
Yep. Oh, man, there's this picture. So there used to be this bar in Boulder called Harpo's, and they had this picture on the wall of Chauncey wearing a gold Buffs jersey in a defensive stance, and he had the 90s almost lightning bolt part.
Yeah.
And I literally told them what amount of money do you want for this? And they're like, we can't sell it. And I was like, okay, well, you guys, if you guys ever are closing or anything, here's my number. Call me. I want this so bad. And they did close, and they didn't call me.
Wow. No idea what happened to it then.
No idea. They should have called me because, I'm not going to get into it.
It'd probably be right behind us right now.
It would.
All right. We'll see you next week, I guess.
Is that it?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I was talking about you, though. You're not here tomorrow,
yeah,
right?
I will not be here tomorrow, unfortunately, and I guess we're not doing a show on Friday. So, yeah. See you guys next week.
Neely will be here tomorrow, though.
Why you got to do that to me?
Why are you not on the show, man?
I can't be on the show, but why couldn't Neely be here today?
Because Neely always wants to come on the last day of practice or close to the last day of practice,
Fair.
so we have stuff to talk about.
Fair enough. I understand. I'm just jealous.
What if we push it back a little later tomorrow? Or are you completely booked?
We'll talk.
We will talk. All right, chat. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.